And it is corn dog and Corona night here at Daytona International Speedway. And hey, I'll tell you what, we're getting set for some Friday night action here. The Super Speedway Cup Series. In the booth with me tonight, Dakota Ehrman. And down on the cameras tonight, back in the saddle again, Magic Fingers himself, John the Bad Boy Westling. Dakota, I'll tell you what, back in the saddle with the Super Speedway Cup Series. Evan Pasoko on vacation this week. The Cowboy, that's me. I'll be filling in for him tonight. And I'll tell you, I think it's 8 drivers here.
Yeah, it's going to be a smallish field here, but right now what we're going to have is the top 4 from this race, I believe it is. They're going to qualify in. I do want to say it's top 4 qualify into the feature race. Anybody that does not qualify into the feature race will be moved to the B main, in which the top 8 from that race will also qualify into the feature race. So they have 2 shots here, but I mean they've really got to go for it now, lock themselves in. They can race in the Trophy Dash race, and then they'll also be able to get points for the Trophy Dash series. It's actually a series now. They have a point system for it now, and a trophy at the end of the season.
You bet. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take them down to the points real quickly here. We'll run it through again here a little bit later on, but right now, sitting at the top of the pile, Victor Bartlett, 7 points out in front of Rodney Wofford, who's up a position this week. And Dakota, Brennan Turberko, who won the A-Main last week, sits in 3rd position, up 6 notches this week's Cowboy, 9 behind Victor Bartlett. In 4th position, Joshua Hayner. He's down 11 from Victor Bartlett, sitting up there at the top. But I'll tell you what, sitting in 5th, Dale Smalley, last season's championship driver. He's only 13 points behind Victor Bartlett. And take us through the rest.
We're going to be sitting 6 tied for 5th with Dale Smalley, 13 points behind the leader. Is going to be Terrence Donovan. He's up 7 spots from last week. Donnie Gaetano follows him up 7 spots as well, but he sits in 6th. He's 20 points out of the point lead, but he's tied with Hunter Bowles, who sits in the 8th position, I do believe, 20 points out. Then you have 9th position, down 7 spots from last week. Last season's champion in the Cup Series, so 22 points behind the leader, 2 points behind Hunter Bowles. That's Andrew Berger, and tied with him for the 10th position is going to be Rod Flagg, down 3 spots from last week, also 22 points behind point leader Victor Bartlett.
You bet. I'll tell you what, the movers this week is going to be Dale Smalley, Terrence Donovan, Donnie Gaetano, and Hunter Bowles, Andrew Berger, and Rod Flagg. So there's a number of cars we're going to be keeping an eye on here tonight as we work through tonight's Super Speedway Cup Series, starting off with heat race number 3 here tonight on ETV Live. And we're about 2 minutes out from that. But last week, a couple of drivers here, top 10 finishers. Joshua Hayner finished 9th last week, and of course Joshua sits 4th in the points here overall. And looking down the list here, I think it was Hunter Bowles. Hunter Bowles with a top 5 finish last week. Hunter sits in the 8th position here. He's sharing that seat, of course, with Donnie Gaetano. So looking for some movers here tonight for sure, and it ain't over until it's over with. So starting out with the heat race number 3, then we'll move into the Trophy Dash. From there we go to the B main, and then to the all-awaiting A main for the final race.
Now, if you've watched this before, you know the B main, very interesting. I think we've seen time and time again where guys have been locked in the show and then still end up crashing, and they'll be locked out of the show that way, miss the show. We've seen guys come in the last second. One of the most exciting races of the night, but then again, all of them are exciting. We come down to, to the wire finishes. We've seen as close as 9 thousandths of a second, even closer than that. I do believe this is probably some of the best finishes we've seen, just back to back to back with these guys. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they can do here. We have a field of Berger, McEachin, Camp, Chiburico, Foltz, Donovan, Ramirez, and Evans here for just this heat race that I do believe, again, the top 4 locked themselves into the feature race with.
You bet. Philip Foltz, the CEO of HD Radio Network, of course, ETV Live being powered by the HD Radio Network. Also hosts the ETV Live Radio 24/7 classic rock and roll with a couple of pretty good radio shows we got going on here. But we're just a few seconds from getting this thing started here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. And this is a nighttime race, Dakota, so things are going to be just a little bit different, a little bit cooler track conditions here tonight. But I'll tell you what, looking for a fast one here. I believe it's 10 laps on the board tonight for the heat race number 3.
Yeah, indeed. 10 laps on the board here as we get set to grid here. I talked to some of the drivers in the grid here tonight. Brendan Chiburico, one of those guys. He's very, very quick usually. The 39 machine, he does not like Talladega or Daytona. He loves Talladega where we were last week, and he's going to be the guy that actually starts on the pole. So Chiburico just looking to stay up front. He definitely hates passing here. It is very tricky, a little bit more tricky than Talladega, and I think we'll see that. But again, Chiburico going to roll off first with Donovan rolling off second here, JD.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, that's just how they started out last week. Chiburico on the inside, Donovan on the outside. Actually, that's how they finished last week. In the number 3 spot, the number 24 car, Andrew Berger, and beside him on the outside, the 75 machine of Jose Ramirez.
Rolling off in the next row is going to be Raymond Evans rolling off in 5th with Larry Kemp rolling off 6th in the 33 machine.
Shane McCutcheon, he'll be in the 28 machine in 7th position. And starting in the 71 machine in 8th position, Philip Foltz from HD Radio.
Field now working down the back straightaway. JD off of turn number 2. Again, pace lap's extremely long here, but we will not see any more than this until the start of the next race, where they'll be paced around the track for about 3/4 of a lap before the field is put back in the hands of the race leader. Coming up next will be the B main, or not the B main, but the Trophy Dash race. Just have to wait for the heat races to conclude. This is going to be the start of heat race number 3 as the field works to almost turn number 3.
You bet, and just a reminder that Victor Bartlett being our points leader here tonight, and I'm not quite sure where he's at, what heat race he's in here tonight, but Brandon Chiburico, who is 3rd in the points, is here tonight with Terrence Donovan. Of course, they're sitting right there on the front row, so as those two work the night out here, it could be a pretty big points night for both of these guys, but you know what, the night ain't over until it's over, and we've got a few more races to go before that happens. Pace car coming off of turn 4. He'll make that left-hand turn and go down pit road and get this baby started, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, this is going to be, these 10-lap races, this is like the all-out shootout race of the night, these heat races. So here we go. I can't even say it. The pace car is off, waiting for that green flag to come out. Brandon Chiburico, he's going to pick it up, and we're off and running here side by side. Terrence Donovan up on the outside, a little bit slow on the throttle, 24 down on the inside, and we're off and running into turn 1.
And Chiburico picked up a pretty good gap on that restart to the second-place car as the 83 gets the apron. He looked underneath that 24 almost for a second. That usually hurts the driver when they get a bad restart or a good restart. And jump the field or the car behind him like that, but not in Chiburico's case, as the outside lane did not go. He now pulls down underneath the apron, letting the field go. For some reason here, he's going to try to come back up, and the 71 might hold him down just a little bit longer. He comes back up the racetrack, going to lose some time, a lot of time maybe here, as the 71 jumps to the bumper of the 28. Just behind him, Larry Kemp coming to the bumper of that 39 to give him aid. Oh, it's the 33 gets the outside wall.
And I'll tell you what, as that's happening back there in the back, the 75 machine and the 73 machine had the opportunity here about a half a lap ago to drop to the bottom, take the lead. They opted not to, stay up on that wall, try to catch that draft coming off that sidewall up there. No deal, Cowboy. It's the 83 and the 24 go motoring right on by for the lead up here. But I'll tell you what, it ain't over yet. 8 more laps to go, 2 laps already in the books here at Daytona. And all the way in the back, Philip Foltz in that 71 machine has lost the draft for the most part. He's pulling the 28 and the 39 with them. Don't know if 10 laps or 8 laps is going to be enough to do it.
Yeah, with Larry Kemp falling off the bumper at that 39 and finding the outside wall, that's taken our even number of cars out of the race. Now we have an odd number of cars that are still running, I do believe, or that are in contention. 71 going to be falling out. He's that one car without a partner. He now is passed by the 39 and 28. That's Chiburico and the 28 of McKeechin, I do believe. They set their sights and trying to run back down this pack in front of them.
You bet. I'll tell you what, Terrence Donovan up here in that number 73 machine, he's pulling the 75. Still, Ramirez, they're still working that top side up here. And I'll tell you, they got a head of steam coming going into the turns. But I'll tell you, when you get to about the center of the turn, Dakota, things just kind of whoa up. The bottom line seems to prevail down there. But I'll tell you, they are fighting back hard up here on the top, Ramirez and Donovan. Now, down here on the bottom with Andrew Berger in that 24 machine, he's pulling that 83 of Ramon Evans along with him here. So it's neck and neck going off into
and it's about to get a little bit closer, I do believe, because Chaburko and McKeechin are getting ever so closer as they kind of become single file up front, as it looks like they might have pulled a switch or two there. I know that it looks like now the 75 is now in front of the 73, and it was the opposite just after the 73 completed leading a lap. 28-39 have caught this group as they are following in line. Looks like 39 looking to switch, maybe not. He's going to stay behind the bumper of the 28, and they might move up to the outside lane here.
And the 71 of Phil Foltz, he has already lost the draft and in bad shape back there. There's no way that he's going to be able to close that kind of distance without some massive help. So Phil Foltz in dire straits here at Daytona. In the meantime, it is getting dicey up here in front. Brandon Chaburko, that number 39 machine, he's watching all that happening out in front of him. He's got hooked up at the 28. That's going to be Shane McKetchin up here in that number 28 car. So sitting 5th and 6th back here. I'll tell you what, the guys up here in front, Ramon Evans and Andrew Berger, has been on the bottom since the get-go. And of course, as with the 75 machine of Ramirez and the 73 machine, these guys have been up here on the top side running it from the get-go. As they go across the start-finish line, the 75 is going to take the lead, and with the 73 coming in behind. But I'll tell you what, if they don't make the move and drop down in front of the 24 soon here, they may be stuck on that top side when we finally end this thing about 4 laps.
Yeah, going to be 4.5 laps to go. We can work down the back straightaway. Right now, you look at the outside lane, they are hooked up. The inside lane have not had a chance to switch at all this race, I don't believe. Really, really easy to heat up these cars. When you heat them up, they blow up easy. That's what the 83 has to keep in mind. He's trying to keep the 24 up front, but he definitely does not want to blow the engine. You see he keeps backing off of the 24, giving him a whole lot of room up there, trying to keep him up front. But here's the outside lane, 75, 73, Ramirez, and Donovan making a very hard charge. Donovan peeks out, maybe cool down the engine if he can, and it looks like they will not quite clear the inside lane. The 28-39 looking to follow, 39 breathing it big time. He's up the racetrack as the 73 and 75 jump in line in front of the 24 and 83.
Finally jumping down there on the bottom. Now they've got to be able to hang on to it, Dakota. And I'll tell you what, they still have a few laps to go here, and I'm sure that they're going to have to make that swap to get those motors cooled off. Either that or they're going to have to think seriously about sticking that radiator out in some of that cold air up there in front. But I'll tell you what, it is single file all the way back. The 39 machine bringing up the rear of the field back here. That's going to be Brandon Chaburko as they break apart here, looking for that cold air up here, that 39 machine. But I'll tell you what, it ain't over until it's over, Cowboy. 2 laps to go here at Daytona as we cross the start-finish line into turn 1 out in front. It's going to be Ramirez, Jose Ramirez in that 75 machine with the 73 of Terrence Donovan dropping down into the front. About a lap ago, Dakota. So I'll tell you what, this might be one of those finishes, one of those photo finishes we always like to see here at Daytona.
We might be coming up on 2 laps to go. When we come out of turn number 4, they got to cross the start-finish line to collect 2 laps to go. 28-39 are kind of disconnected. 24-83 are disconnected. Here's the thing, though. You got to watch 73. I mean, down the back straightaway, he poked he was basically on the line, if not below the line. He was not advancing his position, though. He was just cooling down the engine, so it's not illegal. But right there, I mean, that kind of shows he is hot. As the 28 and 83 got to get together on the outside lane. That's the 28 of McKeechin, 83 of Evans. I think that the 83 is hot. The 39 is hot. They can't really do anything. 73 is hot as well. We already know that. But it's kind of too late to switch as we're going to be coming to get 1 to go here at the start-finish line.
1 to go at the start-finish line, and these guys up in front have not swapped yet, so keeping an eye on the 73 and the 75 car up here. Remember, they were up on the outside on the get-go here at the start of the race here tonight. Spent the most of their time up there. Finally got the opportunity here about 2.5 laps ago to drop down in front of the 24 car. So here we go. Ramirez out in front with Terrence Donovan, and I'll tell you what, things are getting dicey behind them as they're looking for positions. The 83 car up here on the top side, along with the 24. Now those guys are worried about some temperatures as well. So I'll tell you what, coming around for the last time, they'll pick up the white.
And the 28 to push up the racetrack. 83 we had to shoot up way up the racetrack. 73 caught the apron. 24 gets turning, making contact with the 28. 39 involved maybe a little bit. He's going to be all right. And the car that drives away is the 83 after he takes a lot of contact out of it. He's able to drive away. He might be able to keep the 4th position. That was interesting.
75 and 73 duking it out up. And Terrence Donovan is going to go home with the trophy here tonight for heat race number 3. Jose Ramirez in the 75 machine. He'll pick up 2nd place. The 39 machine of Brandon Turberco, who's doing everything he could to stay out of trouble back there, he'll finish 3rd. 4th goes to the 83 of Ramon Evans. Philip Foltz, who fell all the way behind and lost the draft, was in dire straits. He's going to come home with a top 5 finish in that 71.
And we have our heat race number 3 winner. It's the guy that won by 7/1000ths of a second over the 75 of Jose Ramirez. It is Terrence Donovan, and he's standing by with J.D. Webb.
And I'll tell you what a night here at Daytona International Speedway. Terrence, 10 laps, shootout style here. They told the flagman to go home. No cautions here tonight. What was your strategy for keeping that machine out?
Oh man, yeah, I was blinking on and off the last 3 laps or so. So I was expecting a 5th. I thought those guys would get us on the outside, and I guess there was a wreck behind us. I'm not sure what happened there, and so yeah, the opportunity was there. So I passed Jose, but I would have been happy pushing Jose to the win, but probably would have blown up. But yeah, it was a pretty good race.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, congratulations on heat race number 3. What are you and crew chief working on for the rest of the night?
Oh, I don't know. I need a good result in the dash, but yeah, it should be a good night of racing. I'd like to say hi to Maureen and Drew and Jens. So hey guys, and yeah, I look forward to the next race.
Outstanding. Terrence Donovan, the winner of heat race number 3 here at Daytona International Speedway, Dakota. And I'll tell you what, we're getting ready for the Trophy Dash here coming up next on ETV Live.
Yeah, Donovan will be locked in. He'll start from the 3rd position in that race as he is the winner of heat race number 3. We're awaiting the rest of the results. Heat race number 1 went to Joshua Hanner. Heat 2, Dallas Miracle actually wins. Heat number 3, Terrence Donovan. Heat number 4 goes to Mark Brown. We'll try to talk to some of these guys right now. And we have Dallas Miracle up in the broadcast booth. He wins heat race number 2. Dallas, what a race. What happened?
Oh, it was a good race right from the beginning there. Coming out of 4, I think I got up into 29 a little bit, and I managed to hang on to it. I thought I was going to finish with a 4th, but I think they all wrecked in the same wreck there, and I managed to squeak by with the win.
And so you survived the carnage. You'll come home with heat win number 2. You'll start 2nd in the Trophy Dash race, and that should give you a good starting spot, so hopefully you can finish well in that race. How important is it to get that heat win, and how much is it going to help you when it comes to Trophy Dash?
I think it'll really help out there, getting a good starting position, and I know who I'm working with up there, so I think it'll help.
And who makes that for you?
Oh, just my teammate there, Dale Smalley. He's working with me the whole race. I'd like to thank him.
All right, thank you. We were looking for some of our other winners here. Joshua Hanner, I'm not really seeing. Let me look a little more here. Got him. Now we have Joshua Hanner, who is now standing by with J.D. Webb.
And Joshua Hanner, good effort by you tonight. Tell us about your race.
Well, me and Victor had planned to work together there that race, and we stayed together the whole run. I was doing my best to stay behind him and keep cool and push him at the beginning of the race. And then we had to make a swap about halfway through, and then he just kept it cool and kept me out front.
Out outstanding. I'll tell you what, coming into these 10-lap shootout style heat races, what kind of strategy, what are you working with with your crew chief in order to come out here and be successful?
Well, for the 10-lap race, you attack it a little different. You got to be a little more aggressive. You might make some moves that you wouldn't normally make when you got a little more time to get ready. But our strategy going in this time was to just keep it out front and hopefully not get shuffled back, and it worked perfectly.
All right, winner of heat race number 1, Joshua Hayner in that number 5 machine. Congratulations.
Thank you, JD.
And now we have, I do believe, heat race number 4 winner as well, Mark Brown.
Yes, sir.
And Mark, man, I'm sure it was an eventful race. We've heard a lot about carnage over the last few races. What was your race like?
Actually, it was pretty clean till the last lap there right before the finish line.
How'd you manage to come home with the win in your heat race?
I had help from Dana Osborne. He was pushing me, and we got out there, and it was a tough 10 laps.
And Mark, you should start, I do believe, 4th in the Trophy Dash. Are you looking for to just ride around being you're locked in the feature race, or are you going for that win?
Oh, no, going for the win.
All right, well, thank you. Any shots you want to throw out there real quick?
No, just thanks to Rod Flag for putting all this together, and everybody watching.
All right, thank you, Mark, and good luck in the Trophy Dash race and the feature race.
Thank you very much.
And now it's time, JD.
And now it's time. Hey, why don't we step away real quick, take a quick commercial break as we get ready for the Trophy Dash here on ETV Live. Super Speedway Cup Series coming to you Friday night. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. Plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. TuneInRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. And we are back getting ready for the Trophy Dash here at Daytona International Speedway here tonight with the Super Speedway Cup Series. And I'll tell you what, cowboy, it is Corn Dog and Corona Friday night here on ETV Live. This is the Trophy Dash Dakota, 12 laps in length. And I'll tell you what, this is the top 4 finishers from each of the heat race eligible for the Trophy Dash. Now, these guys will make up the top 16 starting positions in the A main coming a little bit later on tonight.
Yeah, and they make out those positions in the order that they finish in this event, so it's important to finish well if you want a good starting spot in the feature race. It can be a little difficult to pass in traffic. More likely if there's a lot of cars. We'll have about 25 cars in the feature race. That'll make it a little more difficult, so that's what these guys have got to think about. Starting up front could cost or save them a lot of time. Although it is a 30-lap feature race, we are just about 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from the start of this event.
And, the A main, let's talk about that, or the B main, let's talk about that for a little bit. 15 laps in length, that'll follow the Trophy Dash here. Now, the B main are drivers who did not transfer from their heat race. They automatically get put into the B main for a last chance effort to try to transfer into the A main. So the top 8 from the B main, that'll be the next race after the Trophy Dash. The top 8 finishers from the B main will transfer to the A main. So I'll tell you what, you really got to work your butt off, during these heat races and try to work your way on up in there. You only got one shot at trying to get into the A main. That comes out of the B main. So we'll see what happens here tonight.
The B main can be generally very, very interesting. Again, I think we talked about it earlier. I talked about it earlier. It can be one of the more interesting races. Generally, we saw a 7/10 of a second finish. When you say more interesting, it comes down to the wire in every race. But this race in particular, people are gunning for positions, and it's just insane to see exactly what happens in these events.
Absolutely. And tonight for the Trophy Dash here, we've got Josh Hainers in the house. Dana Osborne, he'll be here tonight. The 20 of Matt Botempi getting warmed up here. Glenn Hedrick in that 21 machine here tonight. And I'll tell you what, the list just goes on and on and on. Dale Smalley in that number 69 machine. He was the season champion, I believe, from season 2, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. There might be season 3, but Dale Smalley in the house. The 73 of Terrence Donovan. Donovan winning heat race number 3 here tonight. So I tell you, as these races progress, more and more drivers get put into them, and things really start turning up the heat here during these last few races. So as we progress through the night here, starting with the Trophy Dash here, I'll tell you what, the night ain't over yet. Looking for a lot of fun here at Daytona.
How about lots of heavy hitters going to be in the B main? Rod Flagg, Andrew Berger. Last night's a champion, and we talked about Rod Flagg. He won one event last week. I remember I actually called that he would win the event. He went on to win the event. Then last night he came out to the Truck Series that the Super Speedway Cup Series has, or Super Speedway Series has, ssseries.com, and actually won like 3 of the 4 events, I do want to say. So Rod Flagg knows how to get it done. We'll have to see him as he works to race his way into the B main.
We might as well put a plug out for these guys. The Super Speedway Series league over here, ssseries.com. You got to check these guys out. And Rod Flagg, he's the CEO, Dale Hefe here. He knows how to run a league. And I'll tell you what, this guy does a #1 job. Friday nights here on ETV Live, this is just, maybe a third of the league. Like you say, Dakota, they've got a couple of other divisions that run different nights of the week here. But, of course, the most spectacular one, I guess, is the one here on Friday night, has the Super Speedway Cup Series. And this is big track racing, short track style. And I'll tell you, this is a ton of fun. I've always enjoyed, these Friday nights here with Super Speedway Cup Series.
This is my favorite night of the week. Not just because it's Friday, but because it's Super Speedway Cup night. We come out, we watch these guys, and it is a lot of fun. It's always down the wire. I don't know how many times I can say this, but we've saw so many close finishes. I've had so many people come up, and we've had a few. We've had Clint Monahan, Evan Basoko, Steve Azzini. We'd have Adam Gillen, every time they come in, so surprised at the fantastic racing we see. We've seen close finishes, and again, we saw 7,000 a second. I mean, you don't get much closer than that anywhere you go, especially with the fact that they do that, nearly three times a night.
I'll tell you what, if you're a Daytona, if you're a super speedway racer, super speedway nut, I tell you, Friday nights is right here on ETV Live is where you need to be. Corn dog and Corona night. So, get the barbecue cooking, fill the cooler up, take a seat, and have some fun with us here tonight. We're about 15, 20 seconds away from gridding up here tonight, and like we said, we got a full house here. The top names are here. Donovan's here. Dale Smalley's here. Dallas Markle and that 48 machine's here tonight as these guys continue to warm up here on the track. We're just seconds away from getting started.
And it's going to be an interesting race here. Again, the top 4 from the heat races. Each heat race, 16 drivers, I do believe. I can't wait to get it started. And it is that time, as I believe drivers are being called to the grid.
And that they are. And actually, Joshua Hayner looking to get his car up there, not quite on the grid yet, but we can go ahead and run down through the lineup here. Joshua Hayner in that number 5 machine, Dakota, he starts on the pole here tonight. Dallas Markle in the number 48 machine, he'll start on the outside.
And they won heat races number 1 and 2, and now heat races 3 and 4. Terrence Donovan, Mark Brown.
And in that number 5 position, in the 42 machine, Victor Bartlett. On the outside of him in the 69, in 6th position, Dale Small.
How about Jose Ramirez rolling off in 7th in his 75 machine? On the outside of him, the 76 is Frank Basilia.
And Stephen Meyer, he'll take up that 9th position on the inside in the number 22 car. Outside him in the 26, Daniel Holloway in 10th.
Brandon Chaburko is going to roll off in 11th in the 39 machine with the 8 at Dana Osborne rolling off 12th.
And in the number 20 machine, Matt Botempi in the 13th position. In the outside of him in the number 7 machine in 14th, Rodney Watt.
And how about rounding out the field? Going to be starting in 15th is the 83 at Raymond Evans on his outside. Last car on the grid, the 21 of Glenn Hedrick.
That Trophy Dash getting ready to get started here at Daytona International Speedway. Of course, a night race here tonight. These guys will mix it up every Friday night. It'll be Daytona night, daytime. They'll go to Talladega here during this series as well, Dakota. So I'll tell you what, they certainly like to mix it up here. But the nighttime races, I really like these here on ETV Live. The cars really shine on the screen there as we watch them come off of turn 2 down the backstretch here. The pace car will take them all the way around and peel off down here just shortly, and we'll get this thing started. But I tell you what, 12 laps on the board here tonight for the Trophy Dash. So much like the 10-lap races, you get 2 laps extra to get the job done. We'll see what these boys can put together here tonight.
We start out with 10. We get a little bigger. We go to 12. We get a little bit bigger. We go to 15. And then we jump to 30 for the feature race. It's definitely going to be interesting. Now we're working to 3 and 4. We're getting set for the green flag, J.D. Webb.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, watching Donovan, some of these guys coming out of the heat race number 3, and I don't know what happened in 1 and 2 and 4, but heat race number 3, these guys were putting on some extra laps behind one another, not willing to give up the position to come around and get those motors cooled off. So we saw a lot of slicing and dicing coming out, trying to get them radiators stuck out from behind there, get a little bit of airflow to them, but staying tucked up behind the guy in front of them. So we'll see what happens here tonight with 2 extra laps here. The pace car is off, and we are getting set to go green flag racing here at Daytona, and we are. Joshua Hayner picks it up with Markle up on the outside. Terrence Donovan on the bottom pushing Hayner across the start-finish line here, going off into turn 1. The 48 machine moving up on the top side.
48, he looks like he's kind of falling back. 5 cars shoots up the racetrack just a little bit. He's going to stay on the inside. I thought he was shooting out to the outside of 73 on his bumper as Donovan and Hayner. 48 making a run back on the outside. It's Miracle with the help from the 06 of Mark Brown. This is Heat 1 and Heat 2, or Heat 1 and Heat 3 winners on the inside. Heat 2 and Heat 4 winners on the outside lane right here.
And up on the top side back here just a little bit is going to be the 76 machine of Frank Busiala. He's in the 8th position back here, but don't let that fool you, cowboy. This thing ain't over yet. The 69 car of Dale Smalley, Season 3 winner here, Season 3 championship driver, in 7th position up here in that 69 machine. Kind of holding his own up here, not in a big hurry to catch up with the guys up in front of him, but the bottom line going right on past Dale Smalley. Not quite sure what's going on there, possibly looking for a dancing partner. I don't know, but the 83 machine coming down on the bottom down here. Smalley possibly waiting to get hooked up with a 20 car. That's going to be Matt Botempi in 11th position up here on the top.
We've seen a lot of these guys looking for, just partners. We saw 39. He backed up to his partner. They ran the field back down, then had nowhere to go. Speaking of the 39, he's making contact with a 22 currently. This is around 9th position last time across the line. Coming across the line once again. He's going to be updated to 7th. He just got around the 22, though. I don't know what happened, but I think the 22 might have just collected the wall afterwards.
Absolutely, Stephen Meyer going for an e-ticket ride back here, so count the 22 machine out. He's pretty much done for the night here. But I'll tell you what, back out in front here as these guys hook it back together again. It's kind of a scary thing to look in your rearview mirror and see that going on.
I'd say so. We're about 2 wide. I don't even know how many rows deep here, JD. We got 73 now leading the outside lane charge with help from the 48 of Dale's Miracle. The 48 is pushing the 73, but they're kind of falling back for a moment. 42 comes off with the bumper of the 5. This is again up front. The battle for the lead. That's going to give the outside lane the momentum. 42 comes back up to the bumper. The 83 was all over the 39, shoved the 39 around. These guys are all over the place up front, though.
Slicing and dicing here at Daytona International Speedway, Super Speedway Cup Series. This is the Trophy Dash, so this is a lot about bragging rights and also getting into that A main here tonight before the night's over with. But I'll tell you what, pretty much single file down here on the bottom, several cars back. And I'm looking at Mark Brown up here, 7th position, the 06 machine, as he backs off, getting ready to make the swap here. Had to back off, that motor getting hot. You got no choice, cowboy. You got to get off the bumper of the car in front of you, or else she's going to blow. And it doesn't take very long before that happens. So we're seeing a lot of dancing around up here by these guys. Now remember, watching heat race number 3, we saw those guys go lap after lap after lap, tucked up behind one another. The car behind sneaking out, trying to get the radiator out into some cool air, but still hanging on to that back position under the bumper of the car in front of them. So don't know how much we're going to see that tonight. Don't know if that's going to be the, that's kind of a risky thing to do. But I'll tell you what, they're slicing and dicing, getting those cars cooled off. It's not about position, Dakota. It's more about cooling those motors off.
Well, we had an interesting turn of events over the last lap or two. The 75 and 39 were hooked up. The 39 was on the bumper of the 75. 75 got shot down. Had to come back up the racetrack. 39 shoots up. He goes around the 75. Then the 73 and 48 had a mishap, and that cost him a lot of time. Let's let the Chaburco machine at 39 to get up to the bumper of the 42. They were in 3rd position and 2nd position, and then they went around the 5 car. 42 jumps down in front of the 5, takes over the lead with the 5 now on his bumper. That enabled them to switch. 39 stays on the outside. He's got help from now the 75 of Jose Ramirez, and they work the outside lane for the lead.
And Terrence Donovan back here in that 73 machine, he's up working that top side up here. Doesn't look like he's got much of a dancing partner yet. 6 laps in the books. We are at the halfway point, coming across the start-finish line. And I'll tell you what, out in front is Victor Bartlett and Joshua Hayner back here in 2nd position. So the 42 machine up there, Victor Bartlett, of course, lead changes happen here like people change their socks. So don't know whether Victor Bartlett's going to be able to hang on to that lead for too much longer or not. Brandon Chaburco, the 39 machine, also in the mix up here too. So look out for that 39 car. Brandon Chaburco sits 3rd in the points. So he's looking for some movement here before the night's over with as well. So 2 by 2 back here from about 4th on back, as that outside line looking to sneak up there on the leaders.
Yeah, 75 has got some help. I'm not sure exactly in who. It looks like Frank Busiala. No, that's not Frank Busiala. He's on the inside. We look up here. It's Dale Smalley, 69 machine. He's up to 4th. He's on the bumper of the 75, and he's giving him a big push on the outside lane. The leaders were disconnected. They made up some time. The leaders got back together. They lost a lot of time. maybe becoming a little disconnected or getting the bumpers wrong there. The 39 pushing the 5 car. He's on the bumper of that 5. He's the third car on the inside, maybe helping them a little bit as 75 and Dale Smalley in the 69 have a little bit of trouble once again and lose some time, even though the 42 and 5 are disconnected up front.
Smart move by the 75 machine of Ramirez. Now he stays tucked right down alongside the 5 machine here, coming through the turns. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, you getting that side draft off the cars down below you. The second reason, Dakota, hey, I'm going to keep that 5 car from jumping up there and cooling off that radiator. I'm going to make him back off a little bit. Perhaps I can make some time on him up here. 75 working hard up here on the top. He's got Dale Smalley in that 69 machine pushing him right along as they work right down to that inside lane down there next to the 5 and the 42. Going to keep them. Usually you want to make that swap right in the middle of the turn up here so you don't lose too much time. And this is what the 69 and 75 showing their stuff here. They're keeping that from happening with the 5 and 42. So that means the 5 has to back off the bumper of the 42. That's going to slow that line down there a little bit, because not only that, but the 39 behind him, he's got to back out of the throttle too. That's going to keep the guys up on top pretty much neck and neck, right even with the leaders.
Yeah, but the same thing was happening on the outside. The 69 had it back off the 75 and 3 here. The 42 jumps up to the outside lane. He's going to join the train up there, let the 5 car come underneath. He might either just go back around the 5 or maybe let the 5 come by, let the 5 come up the racetrack and get him, and they could retake the lead on the outside lane. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. See 39 all over the bumper of the 5 car, and they are making up a lot of time on the inside lane. It looks like they might take over the lead here, reclaim the lead with the 5 car leading. 39 dives down. He's a little hot there, and the 75 all over the 42. That's going to allow the outside lane to make another hard charge.
And it is 2 to go here at Daytona. Next time around, they'll pick up the white flag cowboy, and then it's over. But then on the other hand, they did give the flagman a night off here at Daytona. So I'll tell you what, we're looking for a pretty good race to the finish line here tonight. Turberko up here in 4th position, that 39 machine on the outside with the 75. But down here on the bottom, Ramirez. Now he showed his stuff during that heat race number 3 here on ETV Live. Just the last race that was here before the trophy race here. But I tell you what, Ramirez looking pretty sweet out here at Daytona. Out in front, Joshua Hayner, Victor Bartlett still have it, and everybody else wants it. Coming into turns 3 and 4, this will be the last time by.
And how about Frank Musiala? He's up front. He's got help from the 83 at Raymond Evans. They took over the 3rd and 4th spot. Musiala gets to the bumper of the 5. 5 car is hot. 5 car back away off the 42. Here comes the 21. He shoots to the outside after clipping the bumper of the 83. 76 going to jump up the racetrack. He's going to block the 21 if he possibly can. That is Hedrick coming in a hurry. Hedrick gets to the bumper of the 76. He's going to push him into turn number 3, and that's going to have a 3-car train now working on the outside lane. Inside lane is rolling. No, they're not really going anywhere. They're not falling back. They are actually prevailing up front. They're going to have, it looks like, the run here down the front straightaway and through the triangle across the line. 42 is going to win. Victor Bartlett wins the Trophy Dash.
And there for a minute, I thought the 5 machine of Joshua Hayner was going to come around and try to claim victory, but that wasn't the deal. I got a funny feeling he just had to move out and keep that thing from blowing up at the start-finish line to hang on to 2nd position. Frank Musiala, he'll pick up 3rd position in that number 76 machine. Glenn Hendrick, he comes home 4th, and in 5th, number 7 of Rodney Wofford.
And that was the points leader that actually wins that event. How about that?
Victor Bartlett picking up the trophy for the Trophy Dash here at Daytona. And I'll tell you what a race that was. Getting set now. See if we can't get our leaders up here and get an interview with them. In the meantime, getting set for the B main. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the ones you really want to watch here tonight. 15 lapper come up here just shortly, and those are the guys that failed to transfer from the heat race. They'll go into the B main here, and the top 8 will get a shot at the A main, the feature race here tonight. In the meantime, we've got Victor Bartlett on board. Victor Bartlett, points leader here, coming into the Super Speedway Cup Series Friday Night Showdown Series here on ETV Live. Tell us about your race here.
The goal tonight was try to get out there and finish well. I know it's going to get harder and harder each week, and I want to thank Joshua for pushing me there to the win. We worked together in the last race, and we worked together in this one, so might have something for the next one. But it was It was actually, tonight was more relaxing. It was weird. There wasn't a lot of moving around going on out there. I don't know what was going on.
Weird. Coming around that last time, you get the one to go. The white flag is out. You get the 5 car right behind you. He's been pushing you all along. Did you guys have any kind of an agreement coming into this race here tonight, or were you looking for that number 5 to come around right there off of turn 4?
He told me he was starting to run hot. He didn't know if he would be able to push me the rest of the way. I kind of expected for him to jump out there and at least try to get me on the outside. I didn't know if he was going to be able to, but at least try to cool himself down so he wouldn't blow up. But he didn't. He stuck with me. I appreciate it.
All right. Who makes it happen for you there, bud?
Super Speedway Cup and K&N Filters.
All right. Dakota Ehrman, I believe you're standing by with our second place finisher, Josh Hayner.
And I am the 5 car. He had a valiant run. He comes home second. He waited maybe too long to jump up to the outside lane, but still able to hang on to the second place position. Josh, what a run for you.
Yeah, that was a really good race, man. I had a blast out there.
Josh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, me and Victor had a game plan going in there. We were going to work together again just like we did in the Heat 1. And it worked out perfect again, so maybe this next race, the A main, we can go for the hat trick and make it 3 in a row.
I was going to say, you guys will start on the first row together in the feature race, so you guys just going to get back together and maybe try to win the event once again?
That's the game plan right now. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully it works out the same, and we'll be in victory lane again.
All right, any shots you want to go ahead and throw out there, Josh?
Yeah, of course, to Rod for putting on the league and you guys for broadcasting. Matt Bontempi, Hunter Bowles, and Victor Bartlett, those guys work with me all the time, and I'd like to say thanks to them.
All right, thank you, Josh. And now we have our third place finisher, who's standing by with J.D. Webb.
I'll tell you what a night here for Frank Busiala, that number 76 machine. Bud, tell us how you made it happen.
That's a good question. I think I started 8th, and I just gotta go with the line that's going. So, and that seems to be the bottom here at Daytona, even in the first race, first week here. It's hard to pass. So, you just gotta, use up your stuff and try to stay up front. It's hard enough to get the track position. So.
I asked these guys coming into these races here tonight, is there a different kind of strategy you got to put together for a 12-lap race other than a 80-lapper, or what's the deal here tonight, Frank?
Well, you just have to use this race to set yourself up for the A main. I didn't even make that race last week, so I was already thrilled getting into this one. But it's just hard if you're not in the top 8 or 10 in this race. It's without big junk in the A main, it's hard to get anywhere. So just try to get all you can get in this one for the A main.
There you go. Who makes it happen for you, bud?
First, thank you guys for broadcasting, and Rod Flag for the league. Make sure everybody's on Facebook searching for Moser Graphic Designs in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. And thank you to my family, and we'll go get them in the A.
All right, and I'll tell you what, Frank Busiala coming in third here tonight at Daytona, the Trophy Dash, getting set for the B main. Let's go ahead and step away, take a real quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the action just shortly.
Radio Network. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. And we are live, back in the saddle again. I'll tell you what, the cowboy up here in the booth with Dakota Ehrman, John Wessling pushing the buttons for us down in the hauler in the production trailer. And Dakota coming off of the Trophy Dash. And I tell you what a night, what a race that was. Bartlett taking the trophy home, Hayner was second place, and Busiala third place. And then tonight, right now, we're looking at the B main. Now, these are the guys who could not make it the transfer out of their heat race. They got a last chance effort here to try to make it into the A main. One of those cars includes the 71 car of Phil Foltz. The reason why we mentioned him in his heat race, number 3, he had some kind of difficulty, set him way back, and finished poorly. Well, I don't want to say finished poorly, but put him pretty much out of the running for that trophy dash here tonight. So last chance for him. Phil Foltz in here, and looking for a good finish at Daytona.
It was the car that was actually left without a partner in heat race number 3. Rod Flagg's in here, 23. He runs the league. He is going to be in the B main as to where he was usually locked in the show, so misses it this week. Doug Moore, he's in this race in the 74 machine. He actually had to use a provisional, I do believe, last week, so we'll see if he can actually lock himself in this week or not. How about also Andrew Berger, last season champion? He's also in this event as well.
Andrew Berger in the house. Gary Schenk in that 25 machine. He's here tonight too. And I'll tell you what, the 27 machine, I'm going to give this guy's last name a shot. Fernstermacher. Not quite sure if that's the right pronunciation or not, but we'll call him Scott. Fenstermacher. I'll just call him Scott. But some good cars here tonight, getting ready for the B main. That's going to fire off here just momentarily as we get ready to set the grid.
And it is now time, I do believe, JD.
And it is time as these guys get these ponies fired up here. Let's start them up on the pole up here at 29 machine in the number 1 spot. Hunter Bowles, he'll pick up the green flag tonight. Outside him in the number 3 in second position, Donnie Garitano.
Kerry Wick going to roll off in third, and his 89 machine with the 71 of Phil Foltz rolling off in fourth.
Good position for that 71 machine to start off in. Behind them on the inside, Doug Moore. He's in that 5th position inside the number 74 car, and driving that number 15 machine tonight, Josh Ball in 6th position.
Jason Altman's going to roll off in 7th in his 51 machine with the 33 of Larry Camp rolling off in 8th on his outside.
Keep an eye on that 24 machine in 9th position on the inside. Outside him, the 23, Rod Flagg.
Brian Bennett going to roll off in 11th in his 70 machine. He makes it row number 6 with the 25 of Gary Schenk.
And David Saunders driving that number 30 machine of his. He starts off in 13th position. Outside him in the number 72, Ivan Garcia.
Curtis Bass going to roll off in 15th in his 19 machine with Shane McEachin rolling off 16th in his 28 machine.
Gary Tarvin, he'll be starting in 17th position in the 17 car, and then James Fenn in the 78 outside.
Jimmy Tolliver and Scott Finstemacher make up the next row with Chance D. Manning rounding out the field in his 4 machine.
And we are set with 15 laps for this race. As the night progresses, Dakota, the laps just get a little bit strung out, a little bit more, a little bit more. We're going to wind up tonight with the A main, which I believe is a 30-lap race here tonight following this B main. So that's the granddaddy of them all. That's the one that you got your corn dogs and Coronas out for. And I'll tell you what, you need to be sitting down, get your cooler right there beside you, have your corn dogs all wrapped up in foil, have that little dip of mustard ready. We're getting ready to go racing here as soon as this one here is over with. This is the B main here at Daytona International Speedway for the Super Speedway Cup Series. And I'll tell you, you know what, if I said it a million times, I'll say it again. You know, Friday nights, this is where you want to be on ETV Live. The Super Speedway Cup Series. This is racing like you haven't seen before, Cowboy. This is big track racing, short track style, and Super Speedway Cup Series. They know how to put on a show. SSSeries.com. You got to check them boys out. A couple of other divisions they run here as well.
Having a truck series on Thursday nights and an enduro series on what I do believe Tuesday nights. I know that they didn't run this week, but they ran 2 weeks ago. But here we are off turn number 4. Pace car gets set to dive. And the 29, Hunter Bolt is going to lead us to the green flag.
And the pace car does take that dive down pit road as they get a little bit touchy-feely up here with the 3 car. Hunter Bowles picks up the green flag. Giarratano up on the outside, kind of checking things out. The 89 down there on the inside. It'll be about a lap or so before they get these ponies up to speed, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, they're already duking it out up here in the front. Contact with the 3 and the 89 up here. Just a little bit. Just, hey, Cowboy, I'm right here. Don't forget who I am, the 71, Phil Fultz, making a mad dash up here, starting in a top 5 position here tonight. We'll see if Phil can hold that number 71 up in front.
Oh, he's really helping Giarratano right now. Giarratano looked like he might clear the inside. Giarratano might also leave Phil Fultz. It looks like kind of Phil Fultz all over the place. 89 way off the bumper of the 29. So Hunter Bowles all by himself on the inside. He was hanging on very strong. Actually made up time on the outside lane as they were all over the place. Phil Fultz hooked back up on the bumper of the 3. 89 not to the bumper of that 29 yet, so 3 going to be clear. He comes down as 29 and 71 make contact. 3 is going to come down, cut off the 29. 29 barely lets him in. He didn't really have a choice there as we have a new leader, Giarratano.
And the 24 and the 15 get hooked up here on the top. That's going to be Josh Ball and, of course, Andrew Berger in that 24 car. But I tell you what, things getting a little bit dicey right from the get-go. 2 laps in the books already as things get to rolling here.
It looks like we have a wreck on the racetrack. 51 cars where this is going to start, I do believe. 51, it was 7th last time across our finish line. This is lap 2 off of turn number 2. He comes up the racetrack and collects the 30. They come down and collect 2 more cars and a lot more cars as they just big pile up in the back straightaway.
The 17 involved, the 19 car involved, the 30 car involved, checking it back here, trying to take a look and see what's going on. The 23 car involved, huge pile of sheet metal back here, 33 car involved as well. So a huge wreck here at Daytona, but guess what, Cowboy? They sent the flagman home, so no cautions fly here at Daytona in the Super Speedway Cup Series races on Friday night. So I tell you what, holding down the fort still is the number 3 of Giarratano. Hunter Bowles out in front. Philip Fultz with a 3rd place position right now with Kerry Witt in behind. If he can team up with that 89 machine, S71 might have a shot at the gold here in the B main. At least get a chance to get in to the A main. Remember, the only the top 8 from the B main get a shot at the A main here tonight, Dakota. So Fultz in that 71 machine's got to do everything he's got. Keep that pony of his up there in the front. In the meantime, Josh Ball in the 15 car. He's back here still working with that 24 of Andrew Berger. They're about 6-7 car lengths off the leaders up there. But hey, we're only 4 laps into this thing. Plenty of time to go.
And I'll tell you what, this has changed the top 8 in the running order now. Anybody that's 10th or behind, position-wise, 10.5 seconds behind the leader, pretty much put it at a point where the field has to wreck again for them to be locked in, and that's if they, aren't destroyed. That's if they're destroyed, honestly, as Phil Fultz has taken over the lead across the start-finish line by 29 thousandths of a second. Looking back, Doug Moore, he's locked in. He's in 7th currently, but that might not last because he's by himself. He's 1.3 seconds behind the leaders, and he has Gary Shank and James Finn working behind him, and they're a tandem, so they should be able to run him down.
With the damaged car, I can't see for all the smoke. I don't know who that is up there. Somebody laying down a pretty good smoke screen up here. They're still on the track. Why they're on the track is beyond me. They need to be down there on the apron. I believe that's a 27 machine of Fenstermacher up there, but the leaders safely get around him. That could have been an obstacle. Actually, it was an obstacle, but that could have been had dire straits back here. The 77 goes, or 27 goes careening off the track onto the grass here. So I think Scott Fenstermacher is pretty much done for the night here at Daytona. In the meantime, it's the same old crew up front: Bowles, Giartano, Foltz, and Witt. Josh Ball back here in that number 15 machine. Him and Andrew Berger still working bumper to bumper here. 24 car still in behind the 15. Wonder how long that'll last.
I have no idea. Honestly, as we watch here, as the 71 has got to the bumper of the 3 car, but his partner falls off of him. The 89, Kerry Witt, going to give a little bit of room to the 71, breathing room, maybe cool down the engine a little bit. Here comes the 15 of Josh Ball, and he's assisted by Andrew Berger in the 24, last season's champion. It's a leader switch up front, 29 to the outside, lets the 3 go underneath, and the 29 falls back in line behind the 3. 71 and 89 still stay in the line just behind them. 15 and 24 still riding.
As the lap-down cars, damaged cars from that wreck are presenting themselves as obstacles now. That was the, I believe that was Ivan Garcia in the 72 machine that they had just gone by. So they're going to put Ivan down a lap here. He was involved in that huge wreck here a few laps ago. But in the meantime, you know, as we watch these guys make the swap, this isn't for position. This is to cool these motors down. These ponies got to breathe some fresh air and get cooled off here a little bit. The only way they can do that is to make the switch. Usually going to happen inside the middle of the turn somewhere. That's where you don't lose as much time and you're able to get back. If you do it on the straightaway, you run a big risk of losing position. Somebody's going to come running right up there and fill that hole lickety-split, Cowboys. So where you want to do it is right here in the middle of the turn. As we watch the 71, the 29, and the 3 car, your leaders up here at Daytona.
Doug Moore, he's found a partner. I told you he was getting run down. It looks like he has gotten a partner in a lap down car, I do believe. The 70 car of Brian Bennett has picked him up. Scored 20 is 4 laps down, but keeping Moore from falling into the clutches of Gary Shank and Chance D. Manning, or not Gary Shank, Chance D. Manning, but James Finn and Gary Shank.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, another car we're looking at here is the 33 machine of Larry Camp. Larry Camp back here, he's 2 laps down. I believe he got involved in that wreck as well. Not a lot of damage on his car, however. And I don't recall. Or yeah, he was involved. I remember the 33 machine, but I think slight damage on the 33 car. But unfortunately, 2 laps down here at Daytona. Curtis Bass in the 19 machine, also 2 laps down, with Brian Bennett, who is now 4 laps down. Fenstermacher chose to put it behind the wall and in the garage. So the leaders up here, starting with Bowles, Giartano, Foltz, nothing has changed, guys. Of course, lap 10, 5 to go here at Daytona.
5 to go. We actually take the start-finish line, working off of turn number 4. Look at 71 and 89. They've been like that for quite a while, just kind of riding around. I don't know if they're going to be able to push when it comes to time because they have, I mean, they might be cooling down the engine, but it's not going to be enough. They're not switching. They're not doing anything like that. When the leaders switch, they're not taking advantage of it because they know they can. They're extremely hot, so that's what you got to watch for. 71 and 89, as hot as they are, they're going to give room to the leaders. As the leaders switch, and this time they're going to throw it in underneath. The 89 pulls up to the outside, gets to the bumper of the 29. Was not looking to make this a battle because he knows that he might know that it won't work. But 3 car up to the top, going to pick up his partner, and they will possibly be able to work the outside lane and run away here.
And Phil Foltz down here on the bottom being pushed by the 89 machine. But I'll tell you, the 29 and the 3 car up there on the top making it work. Usually you don't see that in the turns, but hustling down the front stretch here going to the tri-oval, the 29 and the 3 car seem to have the edge for now. But I'll tell you what, it ain't over till it's over, Cowboys. 71 and 89, working hard down here on the bottom. Let's check back here just a little bit further with Andrew Berger and Joshua Ball. Remember, they got hooked up here. It's just follow the leader. They're waiting for their opportunity as they work to clear the 29-3 up there on the top.
And making me look like I'm stupid. 71 and 89. They're going to make it work on the inside. 3 and 29. We're pushing. 29 gets the bumper. The 3 wrong, and they're going to become disconnected big time. That allows them to fall way back in the 71 and 89 to take the advantage on the inside lane. Carrying at the 89 might want to switch with the 71. The 24 is right there, though, with Josh Bell. They're right on the bumper, maybe looking to capitalize if they do have to switch.
There's going to be a party in the booth after this race tonight if the 71 machine comes home with a trophy from any one of these races here tonight, Cowboy. But the 89 and 71 having to make that swap here. Oh, contact! Contact right here in the middle of the turn. The 24 gets taken out. Andrew Berger out of this race here tonight with less than 3 to go here at Daytona.
Just 89 up the racetrack, comes down and makes contact with the 24. 24 slides up, puts the 71 back in the wall. Just a huge wreck behind them. That will leave the 71 at 89 to battle it out.
And it'll be 2 to go when they come across the line. So it's the 71 and 89 machine up here in the front right now, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Phil Foltz looking for a solid finish here tonight in this B main. He'll get that opportunity to transfer into the A main, the feature race here tonight. And I'll tell you what, but don't count that 71 out. I think he's looking for a trophy out of one of these races here tonight. It just might be this one here. Coming down the backstretch this time around, they'll pick up that white flag, and it'll be the last lap here, Cowboy, as Philip Foltz and Kerry Witt in that number 89 machine duke it out for the last time here at Daytona.
Yeah, 71 going to move up the racetrack. I don't know exactly, but it looks like he's a little all over the place trying to follow the 89. Coming to the white flag, coming across the line now. White flag in the air. 71 still on the bumper of the 89. When we make the move, though, I mean, what he can do here right now is you can see the 71 back off the 89. He could really do that's what he's doing, and leaves the 89 without any kind of pushing help. They can just shoot right to the outside and probably fly right by the 89. So you have to see exactly what Phil does is he's going to stay off the 89, shoots up the racetrack to the outside of that 89 Kerry Witt.
Might have been a little bit too early on that one, but the 71 got the hammer down. The 89 down here on the bottom. Can he do it, Cowboy? 71 pouring all the coals he's got into the engine of that 71 machine. Don't know if he's going to have enough oomph to do it. Coming off of turn 4 last time, and then the fight is on. The 89 on the inside. Contact with 2 cars up in front. The 71 goes sliding across the start-finish line. He will finish second here tonight at Daytona.
And that was
wow.
That was interesting.
Wow, that's worth a second look here. I'm going to roll it back on my machine. The 71, I don't know who got out of shape first, the 89 or the 71. The 71 looked like he'd been having a hard time all night here tonight, guys. He'd been wobbling back and forth down the track. Don't know if he's got some kind of steering problems. Gets into the 89 machine down there on the bottom, and around they both go. Triple axle right through the start-finish line, finishing second. Kerry Witt, he actually takes a ride through the grass, manages to keep it straight, but will take the trophy home for the B main.
And we have the winner of the race, the guy that survives being spun. He's able to spin across the start-finish line, take the win, and he's with J.D. Webb.
Kerry Witt, I tell you what a finish here at Daytona tonight. Was it your plan to work with the 71 machine at all tonight?
There was no plan. It was pretty well madness there through the race.
And you know, you guys were pretty much bumper to bumper there for the last couple of laps. What was the strategy? Did you expect the 71 to try to get the whole shot on you there?
Yeah, I was watching out for him, and basically something went wrong there behind me. I don't know if I was actually even the cause of it, but regardless, I got the win, and it was a good race.
You bet. You also got one of the top 8 spots to transfer into the A main. Who made it happen for you, bud?
Probably on the last lap, I'd reckon, where I hooked up with that car. I'm not sure who it was there now, but yeah, he helped me right to the end.
All right, good job. And Dakota, I think you're standing by with the driver of that number 71 machine, Philip Foltz.
Yeah, HD Radio Network CEO here. He's able to take out a few cars in the field and almost take out the leader at the end there, Phil.
Well, it was an eventful evening. 15 laps of trying to hang on to it with a I don't know what the hell was wrong with it, but I appreciate Kerry working with me since from the get-go. We kind of hooked up there early and just kind of rode there, and he helped me stay in the group, and I appreciate that. And I guess I tried to get around him a little too early there on the last lap. Should have waited a little bit, but that's all right. We'll take a second.
And Phil, man, exactly what happened with the incidents there?
I have no idea. Chalk it up to me.
All right, Phil, go ahead and give you a chance to shout out you might have.
Hey, the HD Radio Network. That's hdradionetwork.com. All your rock needs right there.
All right, thank you, Phil. Look forward to seeing you in the feature race.
Hey, don't forget about Rod Flag and Super Speedway Cup.
Well, there you go. All right, now we have our third place finisher who is standing by with JD Webb. That's Josh Ball.
Hey, the Cowboy here with Josh Ball. Josh, hey, 15 laps later, third place, solid finish, looking at the A main. What's your plans, bud?
Well, hopefully we'll be able to keep the nose clean in the A main, get up there to the front, and find somebody to run with.
Hey, is it truly the toss of the coin? Could it be anybody's race here tonight, or do you come into these short races with some kind of strategy at all?
I'll tell you what, it's definitely anybody's race. I mean, you saw the past champions in that room in the B main, and they didn't even make it to the A. And you got, Rod the commish. He's not in the A as well, unless he got the provisional. But yeah, it's definitely anybody's race, anytime.
I'll tell you what, it is a corn dog and Corona night here on Friday nights. Who makes it happen for you, bud?
Well, I just like to thank Rod Flag, for putting on Super Speedway Cup, and thanks for you guys coming out every week and broadcasting for us.
Josh Ball on his way to the A main, Dakota.
That he is, and I think it's we're closing in on time for the feature race. It's almost upon us, JD.
You got that right. And like I said, corn dogs and Corona night here on Friday night with Super Speedway Cup Series getting set for the A main. Hey, don't wander off. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Radio, ETV Live Sports Radio, even adult and unplugged. Rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. And welcome back to Daytona International Speedway here on ETV Live. It's Corn Dog and Corona night here with the Super Speedway Cup Series. This is big track racing, short track style in the booth here tonight with Dakota Ehrman. John the Bad Boy Wrestling back in the saddle again after a big move. ETV Live now sitting in some brand new digs. And I'll tell you what, Dakota, the B main, it was Whit, Fultz, and Ball coming home the top three out of that race. Easy transfer into the A main, and we're set to go here for 30 laps.
Yeah, Andrew Berger and Rod Flagg would end up being the provisionals. They'll start 25th and 26th tonight, respectively, in the grid, on the grid here in this feature race. Go ahead and run through the points one more time here, JD. How they run so far. Victor Bartlett, who won earlier tonight, before I do believe, he is going to be the current point leader by 7 points over Rodney Wofford. Brandon Jamerko sits third. He's up 6 spots from last week. He's 9 back, 2 points behind Wofford. Joshua Hanner sits fourth with Dale Smalley fifth.
And in sixth position, up 7 notches because of the win last week, Terrence Donovan in that sixth place spot. And then in seventh place, up 7 positions as well, Donnie Gaetano. Hunter Bowles, he occupies that number 8 spot. He's 20 points in back of the leaders. He shares that seat with Donnie Gaetano. In ninth is Andrew Berger. 10th is Rod Flagg. He's down 3 positions this week, but I'll tell you what, he's only 22 and behind. Shares that seat with Andrew Berger. Looking for a good points night here tonight.
How about that? Andrew Berger, Rod Flagg, they share the 9th and 10th position. They are tied in the points. They are also the provisionals tonight. The last 2 cars in the field here.
Hunter Bowles and Donnie Gaetano also share that seat, along with Dale Smalley and Terrence Donovan up in front of them. So I tell you what, there are 6 cars here tonight looking for a huge points night here at Daytona. And I tell you what better place to do it. And again, if you don't have nothing better to do, cowboy, you need to tune in on ETV Live Channel 1 every Friday night. Corn dogs and Corona. Get them cold and have a party here with us every Friday night. And of course, I'm filling in for Evan Pasoka, who's on vacation this week, Dakota. But I'll tell you what, cowboy, I tune in every Friday night and watch this. This is absolutely a blast to watch from start to finish as we get set for the A main here tonight at Daytona.
And even if you think you have something better to do, I'll tell you what, you'd be missing something big if you miss this. Super Speedway Cup, always fantastic, always entertaining, always interesting. We saw a 7,000th of a second gap in heat race number 3. I can't remember how close heat number, or the trophy dash was. I want to say 29 thousandths of a second, but I know that's not right. And then we saw in the B main, we saw somebody getting turned at the end of the race, sliding through the grass. They're both spinning, and it's the car that got turned that ended up going on to victory lane. So now I don't even know what to expect when it comes to this feature race that we're about to partake in.
You bet. How about that B main? Top 8 cars looking for a spot into the A main, the feature race here tonight. Witt and Foltz duking it out. Foltz coming around the Witt car at the last effort, going down the backstretch, and then both of them doing a triple axle across the start finish line. Of course, Witt wins the B main. Foltz coming in second. Joshua Ball, he comes in third. So what a night of racing here at Daytona.
How about Phil Foltz? I think he managed to directly and indirectly make contact with each of the top 10 finishers in that race.
Yeah, directly or indirectly. How about that, Cowboy? Phil Foltz, always like to mention his name. He's the CEO, director of network technology for HD Radio Network. Of course, HD Radio Network powering ETV Live. But Dakota, let's go ahead and send it on down trackside. I believe the Cactus Cuties are standing by with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we are back live here at Daytona International Speedway for the A main here with Super Speedway Cup Series. Let's send it on down for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Victor Bartlett, your points leader, starts out on the pole in that number 42 machine. On the outside, Dakota, the number 5 of Joshua Hayner.
About Frank Busiali going to roll off in third in his 76 machine. On the outside of him, the 21 of Glenn Hedrick.
Rodney Wofford, he drives that number 7 machine. He'll be starting 5th position tonight on the inside. Outside him in that number 83 car in 6th position, Ramon Evans.
How about Brandon Chabreka rolling off in 7th in his number 39 machine, with Dale Smalley rolling off 8th on his outside in the 69.
Starting 9th in the number 48 on the inside, Dallas Maracle. Outside him in the number 75 machine, number 10 in 10th position, Jose Ramirez.
Mark Brown going to roll off in 11th in his 06 machine with the 20, and Matt Bontempi rolling off 12th. They make up row number 6.
Starting row number 7 in the 13th position, number 8 machine of Dana Osborne. Outside him, driving that number 26 machine in 14th, Daniel Holloway.
How about Terrence Donovan rolling off 15th in his number 73 machine, with Stephen Meyer rolling off in 16th and 22, or in the 22 car.
On the inside, in the number 89 machine, Kerry Witt, who won that last B main. Philip Foltz driving the number 71 machine on the outside.
Josh Ball going to roll up in 19th at his number 15 machine. He finished third in the B main. Donnie Garitano rolls off in 20th in the 3 machine.
On the inside in the 74 car. In 21st, Doug Moore starting 22nd tonight, and the number 78, James Fenn.
Gary Schenk in the 25 and Hunter Bowles in the 29 to make up 23rd and 24th position.
25th in the 24 car belongs to Andrew Berger. On the outside of him, the 23, on a provisional, Rod Flagg.
Those last 2 cars, both those last 2 cars are provisionals. They are 2 provisionals of the night.
Victor Bartlett getting set to lead him to the green flag here tonight in the A main here for the Super Speedway Cup Series. And I'll tell you what, it will be hammered down for these boys. The pace car pulls off, the green flag coming up. It'll take about a lap or so to get these ponies up to speed, as the 42 machine a little slow on the throttle, but gets a huge bang in the butt by the 76 car. That's Frank Busiala down here. The 5 and 21 machine working hard up on top to get them ponies up to speed, and we are off and running into turn 1, Dakota.
It almost looked like the 42 was in the wrong gear. I mean, he was just not going when everybody else was going. He got hit in the rear very, very hard by the 76, but it's working out because they are running away. Inside lane behind them, kind of stalling. Outside lane, no help. That's the 5 of Joshua Hanner. 21 and 7, they're running away on the inside. They get by the 5. 5 jumps down in line in front of the 39 of Brendan Chaburko, and they're going to try to follow the 7 of 21 and run back down the race leaders.
I'll tell you what, old ponies are sometimes hard to start, but they will go the distance. Victor Bartlett's still out there in front, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, single file, pretty much all the way back to about 11th position. The 06 machine, Mark Brown, down here on the bottom as he goes motor past the number 83. That's Ramon Evans up here on the top. And Evans looks like he's kind of going backwards, almost by himself. The 71, Philip Foltz trying to work up to him. I tell you what, Phil Foltz looking for a dancing partner tonight, and it looks like he's still got a little bit of wheel problems in that 71 car, so we'll keep an eye on that situation. And they're about the only 2 cars up here on the top, and back out to the front, looks like it might be the 21 and 7 taking a look on the outside. 76 still on the bottom with the 42.
Yeah, 21 coming strong on the outside with the help from 7 or the 7 of Rodney Wofford. Wofford pushing the 21, and it looks like they're not really making up any time, kind of staying even until they get into the corner. They make up a little bit of time. 76 falls off the 42. It's kind of staying even now in the outside lane. They should have to run down the back straightaway or front straightaway. Getting lost at where we are. Back straightaway. As the 21's going to have a bit of momentum, but he won't make up a whole lot of time on the racetrack. 5 and 39, that's Hanner and Chaburko. They follow on the inside lane in, I do believe, 5th and 6th, respectively.
Let's take a shot back here, about 9th position back here, guys. The 48 car, all the way back here. He's got, I believe that's Dale Smalley pushing up there in the front. They're building up a pretty good head of steam, trying to close the distance on the leader. I had them almost about 1.2 seconds back. Now closing distance about 9/10 back to the leaders here. So Smalley and Markle working hard to catch back up here, stay inside that draft. You don't want to get too far behind. 2 cars alone, you can pretty much make up some good time. But I'll tell you what, you get too far behind, and it's game over, Cowboy. In the meantime, it's Matt Botempi back here in 9th position. He's working with the 22 machine of Stephen Meyer. I'll tell you what, they'll close the distance here just shortly too. 30 laps on the board here, Dakota, for this race. We're already 5 laps into it, so we still got a little bit of ways to go here. Fun night at Daytona. What better way to spend it? Corn dogs and Corona with the Super Speedway Cup Series.
Yeah, 26 laps remaining. Bartlett leads the field. Busiala sits in 2nd. Looking back up at the battle up front, 21 and 7 on the outside lane, still struggling. They're still trying to get around on the outside. They can't really do anything. Very large train on the inside, just kind of riding around. They're waiting on the 42 and 76 to get hot, but they're going to get hot about the same time. Won't be able to do a whole lot here.
And Dale Smalley and Dallas Markle, that's going to be the 48 machine and 69 car, finally caught up with that lead pack up here. So they are in the mix as we stand right now. But in behind them, the 20 and the 22, they're coming too, Cowboys. So I'll tell you what, pack racing, this is pack racing right here, Cowboys. These boys will stay together until the end of this thing. No cautions here tonight, Dakota. They gave the flagmen the night off. Told them, hey, we don't need you boys tonight. The only one we need is the guy with the green, the white, and the checkered flag, and he's up there on that flag stand. So I'll tell you what, as these boys get bunched up here, this is shaping up to be one of those races.
42 moved up the racetrack. He let the 76 go by. They were pulling a switch basically on the 42 getting left up high. What I've been keeping my eye on, though, is the 5 car. They worked together in their heat race. They worked together in the Trophy Dash race. That's what brought them the victory. The 5 and 42 are now on the opposite lanes, but I have a feeling they're working to get together if they possibly can. 42 looking like he's going to clear the inside lane, but he's not able to clear it with the 21. 21's still dead even with the 76 machine. 5 car backs off, lets the 42 come back down as he slowed up the 76 by not pushing him.
And, you know, before I was watching the 83 machine of Evans, he's back there in 15th position. Now, he started inside the top 10 up there in 6th position, but has slipped way back here and is about, say 8 or 9 car lengths back of the cars in front of him. Now, he does have a dancing partner. Got a funny feeling that might have been what he was waiting for. Daniel Holiday, 17th position back here to 26th machine as they work hard to close the distance on the leaders up there. So 2 more cars making their way up to that lead pack. And I'll tell you what, I believe they call that a herd of cars, Dakota.
I would say so, maybe. Depends on where you're from, JD. That's what I got to say on that.
I'll tell you what, the Cowboy. Hey, you know what? We're going to have a special treat for you come Monday night with the RSR Full Throttle Cut Series. David Damboy's put together a little piece that is just funnier than hell, and we're going to play that for you live on the broadcast on Monday night. Wait till you hear this, Cowboy. But I got a funny feeling Damboy's was probably shaking in his boots, wondering what the hell JD, the Cowboy, going to think of something like that. But I'll tell you, it's pretty good stuff. In the meantime, slicing and dicing out here at Daytona. Dana Osborne up here in the 12th position. He just got tagged by the 83 machine. I think that was a draft gone wrong there. You got to lift sometimes off that gas when you get into those corners. The draft just kind of sucks you up and really pulls you right into the car in front of you. So you got to be careful out there. But I tell you what, no harm, no foul. The A car in good shape. That's Dana Osborne, 12th position here. In front of him on the top side, the 7 of Rodney Wofford up here. He's helping out the 73 machine. That's Terrence Donovan. Those guys are trying to get up here to the front as the 21 machine jumps up in front of Donovan.
Yeah, I think they were waiting on clean track position up front. The 21 had been on the outside for a long time. They thought the 21 was on the bottom, and all of a sudden he shoots up the racetrack, and that doesn't matter because they are going to the front. Big mix-up behind them. 8 and 83 on the racetrack, 69 on the very inside, but looking at the battle back up front, 21, 73, they're pulling on the outside lane. They are coming in a hurry. 5 with Joshua Hanner. He is 5th on the inside. He's hanging on strong with Brendan Zreckel on his bumper. They've been moving around a little bit, and I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like they are just riding. Here's the 42 and 76 are still separated. 21, 73, big head of steam off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway.
And Dale Smalley back here in 8th position. He's still working with that 48 machine up here. Dallas Markle. Dancing partners to the end. I don't know, Cowboy. We'll find out here pretty soon. 11 laps in the books, 30 on the board, not even at the halfway point yet, Cowboy. And these guys are dancing like it was the last song of the night. But I'll tell you, 2 by 2 from the front to the back. And, getting out of shape. It's going to be the 48 of Miracle, and he's going to take the number 69 machine, Dale Smalley, with him. Wow. Got to roll that one back and take a real quick look here. I think that might have been a bump draft gone wrong here in the middle of the turn. The 48 gets taken out by the 69. 69 hard into the inside wall. But I'll tell you what, that was huge, Dakota.
Yeah, 48 just got the bumper wrong, and that's a large pileup.
The whole entire field of cars, Dakota. Holy cow, the whole entire field of cars in front of them get taken out up in front. I don't even know who even started that one. That one's too tough to call. Actually, not the entire field, the whole back half of that field of cars.
That leaves Hedrick, Bartlett, Musiala, Donovan, and looking back here, I see Stephen Meyer, and I can't tell, they're about a second back, but everybody behind them, behind Wofford, and I believe that is Mark Brown. I mean, that's it. They're very far back.
I've been, working through this thing, trying to figure out what happened up here after the 48 and the 69 got tangled up. I have a funny feeling that it might have been a few cars behind them checking up for that incident with the 49 or the 48 and the 69, and I think that just caused a chain reaction, and the sheet metal is piling up.
I would say it is. I was watching Doug Moore. As they go around, cars are on the inside there. Doug Moore is being pushed by the 5 of Joshua Hanner, who was running up front, was involved in the first incident. Moore was the last place on the racetrack. He was 18 or so seconds behind the leader. He lost a draft early on. This has put him inside the top 10 in 8th now, and he has a partner.
Is that what you call saved by the bell, or?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, very early on. I mean, like 2 laps in the race, I'm sitting here looking. I was wondering where the 74 was. Went to go check because I didn't see him in the running order. Like he was not showing. I had to scroll down and I looked at 26th place car, and he was, I mean, just way out there, all by himself. Just lost the draft. I don't know how. Now he's back in it.
I'm hearing from our producer down at Twitter that was a herd of cars that got involved in that caution.
This is again where I'm going to bring up. It might be where you're from, because if you're from Indy like me and John, it could just be a gang of cars, I guess.
Gang of cars. I'll tell you what. Check this: Andrew Berger, Brandon Cherbico. I still say it wrong. Chaburco, Andrew Berger, Jose Ramirez. Matt Botempi, I mean, guys that we expected to see up front before the end of this thing here tonight have all gone a lap down due to that incident. So they're pretty much out of the running here as far as any kind of a decent finish at Daytona. In the meantime, the 74 machine, Doug Moore, he's at the tail end of the lead lap up here, and he does have a dancing partner, so it's possible Doug Moore may be in the running here for a pretty good finish if he can stick with it and work with his partner up here. In the meantime, Gled Hendrick out in front with Victor Bartlett, Terrence Donovan, Frank Busciala, Rodney Wofford, Stephen Meyer, Mark Brown, and Joshua Hayner make up your top 8 cars as we watch the split being taken, the split taking place up here. These guys, this is not positions being had up here, guys. This is cars that are moving around, trying to get those ponies cooled off for the next 4 or 5 laps. But the carnage, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, the sheet metal is piling up back there in the garage area. They're going to have a fire sale on tires here before the night's over. I'll tell you what, why don't we step away and take a real quick commercial break here. You're watching live, ETV Live, Cowboy. We are at the halfway point, so don't wander off. You want to come right on back here, and we'll bring you the finish of the Super Speedway Cup Series at Daytona. We'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And I'll tell you what, Cowboy, I was just thinking of the definition of a perfect storm. Hey, that's when you come to Daytona International Speedway with a nighttime race, send the flagmen home and turn a bunch of wild broncs loose on the track. And that's what we're seeing here tonight. Terrence Donovan still holding down the fort with Victor Bartlett out here in front. But I'll tell you what, it is about a 4 or 5 car battle up here before we get done with it. Stephen Meyer back here with Rodney Wofford. They're working to catch up with the leaders up here. A little bit of damage on the back of that Rodney Wofford number 7 machine. Sitting back here in 6th position, guys. But they're not out of it yet. 20 laps in the books, 10 more to go here at Daytona. And I'll tell you what, it's been quite an exciting night thus far.
Yeah, points leader, though, he survived so far. He's up front. He's leading the race in his 42 machine. Glenn Hendrick currently sits second. Hendrick, if you remember, he kept going to the outside. When we had this large pack, he kept going to the outside, trying to stick on the outside lane. He could not get a partner that could get him to the front. He finally got one, and he gets to the front, and he's able to miss that wreck. I mean, if you think about the 21, if he would have still been back there at the time of the wreck, he would have been collected most likely. So, I mean, this put him in a great position. He's working with the points leader currently. And here comes Musiala and Donovan. Those cars very, very quick. We saw a lot from the 76. We saw a lot from the 73. And they come to the outside for the lead.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, we were talking earlier about the points here. We've got a number of drivers that are tied in different positions for points. For example, Dale Smalley, Terrence Donovan, they're tied for basically, let's call it 5th position here. Dale Smalley, he's 2 laps down. Where is Terrence Donovan? Donovan sits in 4th place, so it's going to be a Terrence Donovan night for sure to help him boost that points up, possibly get above Dale Smalley there. A couple others, Donnie Garitano and Hunter Bowles. As I look on the list here and see where these guys are at, I believe that they might be out of the running too. Donnie Garitano, he's a lap down back here in 16th. Hunter Bowles, he's in 14th, also a lap down. So possible movement there if Garitano can get in front of Hunter Bowles before the night's over. Don't know whether he'll have time to do that or not. But I tell you what, no matter if you're a couple of laps out or not, there's a couple of these old boys back here. They're looking for a points night no matter what happens.
Interesting turn of events up front. Leaders had to switch. 73 and 76 had already switched. They put the leaders on the outside, but they were disconnected. Could not get hooked back up. They're finally just now getting hooked back up, but the 42 and 21 have been hooked up, so they'll have the momentum down the front straightaway. They'll clear and retake the lead on the inside lane now as they rejoin the line. 76, 73 split up once again, just riding up front. Looking back just a little bit further through the field. How about the 7 of Wofford? 22 of Meyer. They have rejoined this group with a 25 of Kerry Shank, who is 21st, multiple laps down. 89 of Kerry Wood, who is 19th, 2 laps down, and they round out the lead pack there.
And I believe I saw Philip Foltz pushing that number 71 machine behind the garage guys along with the 23. I believe the 48 is still out there on the track. He's 10 laps down, but I'll tell you what, the hat's off to Dallas Markle out there duking it out. He's going to get every last thing he can get out of this track here tonight, and even at 10 laps down. So hats off to the driver of that number 48 machine. In the meantime, I believe it's 7 laps to go here tonight, guys. So, 2.5 mile track, 30 or so degree banking in the turns, almost 200 miles an hour at the end of the front stretch up here. So we still got a little bit of ways to go, but it can be anybody's game here tonight, even though Bartlett and Hendrick have pretty much occupied the front row up here for a long, long time. Wofford and Meyer back here working that top side now, trying to pour the coals to those ponies and get them heated up here as they come off of turn 4 down into the tri-oval here. So the battle is starting to come alive.
5 laps remaining now as we have gone across the start-finish line at Daytona International Speedway. Bartlett up the racetrack. He's going to pull the switch with a 21. 76 trying to get the bumper of the 73. They might be able to make this work this time as the 73 Donovan getting clear up to the inside of the 21. 76 has got to get to his bumper to keep him on the inside. This would be good if the 76 could be to his bumper, but the 76 never there when the 73 needs him, it looks like, so they're not able to take the lead over. You see the 76 just out to the bumper, and now it's too late. They'll lose the lead.
Kerry Witt back here being shown in 19th position. He's gotten hooked up with with the 25 machine, Gary Shank. Now, if those two guys can get up here, they might be able to disrupt or help one of these guys up here in front. But they're working hard on trying to stay with that lead pack. Rodney Wofford, I believe he's going to be the last one up here in the front with these guys. Rodney Wofford currently sitting in 6th position here. He was working with that 22 machine, but a little while ago had some kind of issue. Wofford went way backwards. Might have been a swap gone wrong, but almost looked like they were going to be a threat up here in the front, but has fallen back here to the back. So, but I'll tell you what, it ain't over yet, Cowboy. Anything can happen before the end of this thing, as we've seen so many times before here at Daytona.
Yeah, with just 3 laps remaining now at Daytona. Watching the 21 lead the 42, 73 is 16 or 76. Kind of riding around here. Looks like they're just trying to keep the engine cool. 73 is all over the bump for the 42, but the 73 has been basically leading, so he's not had a whole lot of problems with the engine overheating. A very large train of cars though on the inside. First car on the outside is going to be 21st place car. That's Shank. He goes up the racetrack but comes back down and rejoins the line. That's a very, very long line though, JD.
Yeah, it is. And I keep cycling through these guys up here in front and wondering which one of you is going to try to come out on top up here and lead a pack on that top side up here. I just, it's hard to tell what's going to happen here. They may be waiting until that last lap. Now, we saw Phil Foltz try to take it from Witt here in one of the races here tonight. And, it started off just a little bit too early. I believe he came off of turn 2, tried to get him coming down the backstretch. Unless you've got the horsepower to do it, Cowboy, it's a long ways down that backstretch into turns 3 and 4. And I think the perfect place to do it would be the entry of turn 3. But I'll tell you what, if you can't get it done by then, it's over. As here we go, we're getting set, trying to run that top line up here to 73, putting the power to the pedal here. Up there to 76, Frank Busciali in behind. Obstacles up here in front as we come across to get the white flag.
Yeah, they had no choice but to go then. There was cars coming on the outside lane. They had to get up there and take the spot before it was taken from them. They now follow on the outside lane. 76 backs off the 73, getting air. He gets back to the bumper. They're going to lose a lot of time on the outside lane. That's the place you don't want to back off because you do not have the momentum. Your cars just naturally are slowed down on the outside lane. They're coming back, making a charge on the outside lane. Down the back straightaway, side by side, JD.
Keeping them tucked down side by side here, working that draft off that side of those 42 and the 21 machine up there in the front. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, this is for all the marbles here tonight at Daytona. The 76 machine, that's going to be Frank Busciali working hard up here, trying to get the job done, push his partner to the line, coming through the trial. 76 machine blowing up, going to let him roll, and that's going to end the night here. Glenn Hedrick picks up the trophy with Terrence Donovan and Victor Bartlett with a 3rd place finish at Daytona.
That was intense.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you what, Victor Bartlett, Frank Busciali back in the 76, it looked like he was steaming. His motor was huffing and puffing. Looked like he was going to let go before he got there. But I'm trying to roll it back here and take another look here. I don't think it blew. I just think he hit the red light, and it started puffing and puffing. And I think he was just losing power at that point. He backs way off, and unfortunately not going to be any help at all for the 73 to push him across the start-finish line for a win. But I'll tell you what, a 2nd place finish ain't bad at all, Cowboy.
And I'll tell you what, I do believe we have our winner up in the broadcast booth already, JD.
And I'll tell you what, coming to Daytona here on Friday nights, this is one of those nights where, not like a regular Daytona race where you got, 80, 90, 100 laps around here. You've got this is short track racing. This is big track racing, short track style. And I'll tell you what, Glenn Hedrick, you seem to have it all put together here. Tell us how you made it happen, bud.
Well, man, that was a great race. We had a little 6-car breakaway there after that wreck, and I got to thank Victor. He's the one that got me to victory lane. So thank you, Victor. And pretty sure he's leading the points now. And Frank did blow up there right at the end, so that was a little push we need to get over the start-finish line.
Yeah, I saw the steam coming out of the back of that number 76 machine, and I thought, you know what, that's going to be over for Terrence Donovan for any kind of win. But I tell you what, always a tough night coming here to these Friday night races. How do you gear up for this thing? You got heat races you got to contend with, and you got to try to make it in a trophy dash. The B main, if you didn't make it through one of the qualifiers, the heat races, hoping to get into the A main, the feature race here tonight to put on a good show. I mean, what's going through your mind as you try to prepare for these races here on Friday nights?
Well, I mean, it's just the key to Daytona is just staying up front. I mean, there's just no room at all. So, the key is to hook up with somebody you can trust and just try to stay up front. Because if you get back there in the middle of the pack or in the back, I mean, just one screw up and everybody goes into the wall. So that's the key to it.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, Glenn, who makes it happen for you, bud?
Well, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Atlantic Marine. Thank Rod Flagg for putting on the league, and thank you to Victor. I wouldn't have gotten there without him. And just overall, great Friday night race. I appreciate it. Appreciate ETVs also.
I'll tell you what, great Friday night race. That's Glenn Hendrick picking up the trophy here tonight in the A-Main feature racer at Daytona. I'm going to throw it on down trackside and leave Dakota Irma standing by with our second place finisher, Terrence Donovan.
I am in the 73. The 73 machine is Terrence Donovan. It's so close. He was coming. He almost looked like he'd have it, but his partner blows up at the line. Terrence, you were riding in line for quite a while there, and you had to go when you had to go because they were coming on the outside lane. How did you manage to hang on to the end there, and what was that like coming down on the final lap just side by side with the leader the whole time?
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. I was hoping Frank's engine would hold out, but he had a little damage in front, so I think that didn't help him stay cool. And he was behind me for a while. But yeah, we did the best we could. And yeah, congrats to Glenn. Yeah, another second place. I don't know, one of these days I'll get first.
And Terrence, but the second places have got to be helping you points-wise. Are you looking forward to coming in next week at Talladega and maybe another top 5 or even a win? I mean, you're really, really solid here.
Yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, I'm starting towards the back and making my way towards the front. I had a good run up to the front there with Dana Osborne, and then got behind Rodney, and then yeah, we had a good race. So yeah, we'll see.
All right, Terrence. Well, any shots you want to throw out there real quick?
Yeah, hi to Maureen and Drew and Jens. Happy birthday to Rodney's dad, and yeah, thanks to Rod. So I'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
All right, thank you, Terrence. Nice job in second place finish. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks.
And now we go down to our third place finisher, who is standing by with J.D. Webb. It's our points leader, Victor Bartlett.
Hey, the Cowboys standing down here with Victor Bartlett, points leader, coming into tonight's event. 7 points out in front of Rodney Wofford. Victor, tell us about your night, and you think you can come out the points leader tonight?
Yeah, I come out tonight as points leader. I tried to lead the most laps. I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to get up there and contend for the victory. Glenn was out there out front, and I was trying my hardest just to lag back from him and keep the motor cool. That way I could push him to the end because I didn't want to mix it up too much. Didn't want to cause too much, shuffling around. I wanted to stay, at least in the top 4. I didn't want to fall back anymore. I didn't want to play around too much. Got to get those top 5, stay in the top.
You bet. Watching these guys tonight, something I got to ask you drivers. When you're running behind somebody, you can only run 3 or 4 laps, then you got to cool that pony down a little bit. You got to get up to the outside somehow and get air to that radiator. How tough is that to do when you're running in a pack of cars side by side, 2, sometimes 3 deep on occasion here at Daytona?
It's pretty difficult. I mean, you got to trust the guys behind you that they're not going to, go up and try to push you. You're hoping that they're trying to keep their motor cool. The bad thing about these new Gen 6 cars is you can get the water temperature down pretty, low when you're backing off of the guy in front of you, but the darndest thing to get cooled down is the freaking oil. The oil is so hard to get cooled down.
more power to you guys out there handling. To me, that's like riding a wild bronc for sure down there. You don't ever expect, you can't expect what's going to happen down there with these cars. But I'll tell you what, solid race for you here tonight. Who makes it happen for you, bud?
Rod Flag from the Super Speedway Cup, of course, ETV and K&N Filters.
All right, Victor Bartlett coming in tonight, the points leader, going out the points leader, finishing third here at Daytona, Dakota. And I'll tell you what a night of racing. Short track style racing here. What do I usually say? Big track racing, short track style. Hey, send them flagmen home. We're going to have a party.
I think you say something like Coronas usually. I mean, that's all I remember.
Well, that too. Corn dogs and Corona nights, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, if there's any place you want to be, it's right here on ETV Live, tuning in every Friday night with the Super Speedway Cup Series. These boys put on one hell of a show. And there's a lot more coming on ETV Live, starting even, let's see if I can get the calendar up here, tomorrow night, Integrity Racing. I'm not quite sure what track they're going to be at, but you want to tune in. Channel 2 tomorrow night at 9 o'clock p.m. for Integrity Racing, and then a doubleheader on Sunday night. That's going to be the Cora Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series, and then also on Channel 1 is going to be the ETV Live Team Racing Series. So a doubleheader on Sunday night, Integrity Racing tomorrow night, and I'll tell you what, Dakota, tons of fun here tonight. Hopefully Evan's going to come back this weekend so I can get my tail out of the booth. Been a pleasure working with you boys up here, but I need a break. I need a vacation.
Who needs a vacation? I mean, besides everybody at ETV.
John piping in from downstairs. Yeah, John piping in from downstairs. I know nobody can hear him on the broadcast, but he's saying that I take too many vacations as it is. Of course, I'm perpetually on vacation, I guess. But I'll tell you what, that's going to do it for us here at Daytona International Speedway for the Super Speedway Cup Series. Rod Flag and his gang. And once again, put on one hell of a show here tonight every Friday night. You can catch them live at 8:30. And with Dakota Erman up here in the booth, John Wessling down there pushing the buttons for you on the cameras. No better cowboy than John Wessling. We'll catch you tomorrow night with Integrity Racing at 9 o'clock.